she is doing the puja, she will be doing the inspection of the building, and she will be coming over to the stage. So when she comes, I will request all of you to please stand up. Thank you so much.
Has already arrived and she is doing the puja. She'll be doing the inspection of the building and she'll be coming over to the stage. So when she comes, I will request all of you to please stand up. Thank you so much.
35 लाख से भी ज़्यादा म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टर्स ग्रो का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। पता है क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ मिलता है आपको ज़ीरो कमीशन। SIP आप सिर्फ 1000 रुपये के साथ शुरुआत कर सकते हैं और 5000 से भी ज़्यादा म्यूचुअल फंड्स और 44 से भी ज़्यादा फंड हाउसेज आपको यहाँ मिलते हैं। What are you waiting for? Download the Grow app now.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
हेलो
Sarigama Karma, the perfect gift for your loved ones.
Respected guests, Madam is arriving. So, please can we stand up?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to our esteemed guests and Madam. It's a matter of great honor and pride for all of us here today to have with us Smt. Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India. We are truly privileged to have you amongst us today, ma'am. On with her skills and dexterity. We welcome you, ma'am, to our small but beautiful state of Tripura, and thank you for your gracious presence here in GST Bhawan Agartala. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamso ma jyotirgamaya. Lead us from ignorance to truth. Lead us from darkness to light. Lamp is a symbol of strength and positivity. I request Honorable Finance Minister Smt. Nirmala Sitharaman, respected Secretary, Department of Revenue, Sri Sanjay Malhotra, respected Chairman, CBIC, Sri Vivek Johari, respected members, CBIC, Sri Alok Shukla and Sri Sanjay Agarwal, respected Principal Director General DGHRD, Mrs. Nita Lal Bhutalia, respected Chief Commissioner CGST Central Excise and Guwahati Customs Guwahati Zone, Sri Yogendra Garg sir, to please inaugurate the program by lighting the lamp. We'll be giving our offerings to Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, with the Saraswati Bandana. Thank you. A small request to our media personalities. Please, can you move backward and take your seats so that we can carry on with our program? Yes, please. To request respected Chairman CBIC, Sri Vivek Johri sir, to welcome Honorable Finance Minister with the bouquet. Yeah, memento. Yes. Memento. Sir, I request sir again to please felicitate Madam with the memento. Now I request our Honorable Chief Commissioner, sir, to please come up on the stage. So, Chief Commissioner, sir, you are requested to please welcome respected Secretary, Department of Revenue, Sri Sanjay Malhotra, sir, with the bouquet and the memento. Yeah, I again request Chief Commissioner, sir, to kindly welcome our Chairman, CBIC Chairman, Sri Vivek Jory, sir, with the bouquet and the memento. Next, Chief Commissioner, sir, you are requested to welcome Member CBIC, Sri Alok Shukla, sir, with the bouquet and the memento. I request you, sir, to welcome CBIC member Sri Sanjay Agarwal, sir, with the bouquet and the memento. I request Chief Commissioner, sir, to welcome our Principal Director General DGHRD, Mrs. Nita Lal Bhutalia, ma'am, with the bouquet and the memento. Thank you so much. So we move on. I now request respected Chairman CBIC, Sri Vivek Johari, sir, to welcome the August gathering.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar. Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Revenue Secretary Sri Sanjay Malhotra, my colleagues from the board, senior officers from the department, members of the trade, officers from the state government, and distinguished guests. It gives me great pleasure to be here today and especially to welcome Honorable Finance Minister who's made it specially for this event despite a busy schedule and her preoccupations with the upcoming Parliament session. Ma'am, as you're aware, we have been emphasizing as CBIC on providing a good enabling environment to our officers so that they're able to give their best and perform to the best of their abilities. And one of the key things in that enabling environment, of course, is the availability of good physical infrastructure in terms of workspace, in terms of residential accommodation. And to that end, with your support and help, ma'am, we've been taking very active measures to augment our physical infrastructure at different locations. And Northeast is also a focus area. It is no different, ma'am. It is just that in the northeastern states, pre-GST, we had just 3 commissionerates, and now in lieu of that, we have 11. So the number has really grown, and the infrastructure we are taking some time to catch up with. So of the 11 commissionerates in this region, ma'am, we have 3 which are located in our own buildings, and for the rest of them we already have plans which are at different stages of maturity in terms of acquiring the land and formulating proposals. But the end objective is to ensure that in every commissionerate in this region, and we have a commissionerate in every state now, and in the largest state of Assam we have more than one. Our end objective is to ensure that there is adequate office accommodation available to the officers at all these locations. And we are very thankful to the CPWD and their officers, their local team here in Agartala, for giving us their support in completing this project in record time. So we acquired the land quite some time back, ma'am. It was initially envisaged to be a customs division office, but with the GST coming in, the requirement has obviously grown, and what we finally see here is a 7-story building which accommodates a whole GST commissionerate and a customs division and 1 or 2 divisions of the audit formation. So, and we started the work on this project, I think, in 2019, late 2019, and we finished it in 2022. We've already been in occupation of the building for a few months now. And I once again thank the CPWD officers, for doing this for us. As you have seen, ma'am, the building is according to the latest specifications. It has all the amenities. We have specially kept in mind the requirements of the trade, and we have kept aside an auditorium on the top floor so that we can have outreach programs like you were emphasizing in the morning, ma'am, and we can keep meeting with the trade to resolve their grievances and to help them, handhold them in whatever way they want. So with that, I welcome all of you once again to this function, and on behalf of CBIC, and I thank you, ma'am, and the Honorable Revenue Secretary for taking the trouble of coming all the way. It's a very big morale boost to our staff who work here, who are located here, and I'm sure it will inspire them to do their best in the coming years and in future. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request respected Revenue Secretary, Sri Sanjay Malhotra, sir, to please address the gathering.
Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, the Chairperson of CBIC, Mr. Vivek Johri, the members of the Board of CBIC, officers of CBIC and the state government, distinguished guests present over here, media, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my pleasure to be here today on this occasion of the inauguration of the GST Bhawan in Agartala. It's my first visit to Agartala, and so I indeed, consider it a lucky day for me to have been here. I had planned a visit earlier this month. Unfortunately, it could not materialize, and so I am indeed very happy to come on this land of Tripura, famous for, the temple, the Tripura Sundari temple that you have over here. Also very happy to be here because I am told, I was talking to the liaison officer, and the Finance Minister also mentioned in her speech in the morning that the Northeast, the whole of Northeast, including Tripura, has done very well post-GST, And of course, not only, is because of the design of the GST, which favors or which brought a shift from the manufacturing to the destination-based principle of taxation, but it is also a recognition of the hard work which has been put in, not only by the officers who are present here today, but also, more importantly, I think, of the taxpayers, because of their compliant and honest nature, that we have got good growth in this whole of region, and especially in Tripura. I'm sure that you will all, continue to do this good work. And as also, mentioned by the chairperson, you have a building. It has been our endeavor. The Honorable Finance Minister has been very, very keen and supportive. And she has been urging us to provide the infra, whether, it is for offices, for residences, or for training. We are coming up, with, as you are aware, a new training institute for the officers of the CBIC. And so while we do all this, I'm sure all of you will also. The other thing, I wanted to mention here is that making buildings is, is very comparatively, easy. It's not easy. It's difficult, but comparatively, it's easy. Maintaining those buildings is even more difficult. So I would urge all those who are present here and those who are going to use this building, either as officers or users, as citizens, when you are coming. The building is nice and beautiful right now. I hope and I would urge all of you that we continue to keep it clean, keep it nicely.
Thank you so much, sir. Words have a deep impact on the listeners. Words empower us, motivates us, and guides us. May I now request Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Smt. Nirmala Sitharaman, to enlighten us with her valuable speech.
Namaskar and good evening. Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra, Chairman CBIC Vivek Johri, members of the board, distinguished officers from the state government, eminent citizens of Tripura, traders, associations, and members of the trade bodies, and all those who have come here today to participate in this function on a humid, hot afternoon. I am indeed very grateful for your presence here. Vivek Johri clearly said the importance that good infrastructure plays for officers to do their duty. I'm glad after a wait that Tripura has got the GST Bhawan, and we see that the place has enough room for officers and others from the field formations to work, and more importantly, that it has a place where citizens who are part of the stakeholders, who have some interest in the GST, or who would want to become assessees, can approach this office, and there is a space dedicated for their purpose with an officer seated there to answer their questions. In case they want to do filing from here itself, either because they don't have the facility, they are operating at a very small level, even that facilitation is being provided. So I think this construction speaks for the open-mindedness with which GST and its officers are trying to keep the citizen in mind, the businesses in mind, the traders in mind, and creating an office setup wherein they can function, but they can be accessible for those who need that help. So I'm glad that that approach has prevailed, and as a result, this building although is in a smaller sized plot, has vertically grown and has got enough space. And thoughtfully, it also has space for training of officers. So in all, I think this building is now very adept for dealing with a growing facility. And I say growing, I did mention in the morning when we met when we had a gathering for awarding well-functioning officers, I did say what GST has actually made as a difference for the Northeast. There are one or two things which I want to highlight specific to Tripura. We all know that GST is a consumption-based tax, and the more a state consumes, the more GST is collected from there, and therefore, to that extent, commensurate extent, GST is also provided to that state. Tripura, just 1 minute, I think I've got a different page. Tripura, actually before the GST was introduced, received only 4.21 crores as central sales tax collection, and from the collection, Tripura's share was 4.21 crores. And that is true of 2016-17, the year before GST was introduced. Whereas in 22-23, the year which ended as of March 23, Tripura collects 982.50 crores from interstate trade. Where is 4.21 crore and where is 982, 4.21 versus 982.50 crores, 982.50 crores within a matter of 5 to 6 years. So post GST, the collection and the revenue generation for Tripura
has been extremely favorable. Where it was single digit, it's gone to 3 digits in crores. So interstate trade has now been greatly facilitated, and therefore I think it is showing on how GST has actually meant good for the Northeast states. And Tripura's number is almost enviable. Of course, Tripura needs a lot more resources. But the fact that within 6 years, under the same head, you're getting so much more proves the need for a greater coordination through the GST. And of course, with GST coming in, more businesses have come into the system. However, with an office like this, with a Bhavan like this, and which has kept the citizen in mind, I would think it's necessary for us all, to do an outreach along with the state government, so that more small businesses understand that they stand to benefit by enrolling in the GST. By staying away, many of the benefits which accrue to the GST
registered companies are not available if they stay out. Even if they are just composition, those who opted for the composition system, they still derive a lot of benefits. Large companies do not want to buy or procure goods or service from non-GST institutions. It will do well for more and more institutions to come into the GST fold, for which now that you have a building in your hand, it will be important to call the trade, small associations or big associations, and interact with them to say, through their members, get more people enrolled, and for which the state government also should be requested to cooperate and draw more people from Tripura. And when I speak of Tripura, I'm fully conscious that the terrain is such that access to some parts of the state is very difficult. And for such areas, it might help for us to go there and sit and talk rather than invite them, leaving their businesses, to come over to the Bhavan. So there should be a two-pronged approach. Those who can come here through the associations, let them come. And for those who are in the far-flung areas, in order that they can appreciate the GST's benefits, it might be worth the officers here to consider going and meeting them in their respective areas and telling them what it does to their own businesses and to the state as well. So without taking much of your time, this building will give you all the necessary infrastructural requirement which normally officers should basically have. It's not some luxury. It's to have a convenient workplace, and that's what has been provided now. So I would feel that the officials here can maximum utilize this place in order that you are able to explain yourself and also redress grievances. So thank you very much for coming here. All the very best to the Tripura unit, and whether it is GST or customs, because you are a border state, it is very important to remain alert. So the customs also has to play a very carefully thought out role, and quietly at that, without creating too much glitches, so that trade between the two countries is facilitated rather than hindered. So thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring and encouraging speech. I now request respected Sri Yogendra Garg, Chief Commissioner, CGST Central Excise and Customs Guwahati Zone, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Smt. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Secretary Revenue Shri Sanjay Malhotra ji, Chairman CBIC Shri Vivek Jari, Zonal Member Shri Alok Shukla, and Member CBIC Shri Sanjay Kumar, senior officers from the state government, my colleagues, the other stakeholders, and the media. I'm honored to propose the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion of inauguration of this building at Agartala. My heartfelt gratitude and thanks, and we're really grateful that finally the sanctions came, and in CPWD gave us this building in 3 years' time. And this is giving a much better, cleaner, open building to officers and the taxpayers, and I'm sure it will go a long way. So thank you, ma'am. I'm highly thankful to Revenue Secretary Shri Sanjay Malhotra for gracing the occasion. We are grateful, sir, for your guidance and support. And you have mentioned such infrastructure projects are important for this region, and I'm sure we'll keep on getting support of the ministry in getting approvals for the other projects. Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, as head of CBIC, you have been the guiding light for all our endeavors, including this function. I've been really pressing that. Special thanks to our zonal member, Shri Alok Shukla, sir, for your suggestions, support, and all through the run-up to this function. Thank you, Member Compliance Management, sir, for gracing this function. Special thanks to Principal DG HRD, Madam Neetalal Bhutalia, and ADG Infrastructure, who are like, we can only send proposals, and they are the ones who actually fight for us and get the necessary approvals. So thank you, ma'am, and looking forward to getting many more. I'm sure actually that this is a big day for all the stakeholders, because I'm sure such an infrastructure will go a long way in providing better taxpayer services. So it will be a win-win, and in times to come, as ma'am mentioned, we'll have more outreach programs, both off-site and on-site, to ensure that maximum coverage can be done. And we'll need support from the state government, because I think we need to do it together, because the tax base has already increased. It's 3 times the taxpayers, and maybe potential is more. Special thanks to Chief Engineer CPWD and his team for bearing with us we have been really pressing, demanding that this is how the building should be. And within the limitations, they have done a great job. Last but not the least, my heartfelt thanks to officers and staff of GST and Customs Tripura Commissionerate, and in fact the Guwahati zone. We have very thinly staffed, and therefore I had to get in officers from all over. And thank you media, thank you everybody, all the guests for making it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the Chief Engineer CPWD will felicitate. I request all dignitaries and guests present here to kindly stand up.